all over the track, man. Pardon me, as I come back. As I did it, I had to beg your pardon. When I travel through the turn, I roll with the squadron. Row, like a dungeon dragon. Change a little jaws cause the pants are sagging. Try to cut the dick, I will put you in a turban. And have it smelling right, it's the bone scale urine. Chuckity choco, the chocolate chicken. The rear got diesel, but chicks they were kicking. Yo, bust it out before the buster, the rhythm and stick. The bounder on time. Flipping up the down just like others to yo. I'm third the vibe and check out the scenario. Yeah, my man, no. What's the scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Happy Severance Sunday, everyone. This was an episode here. This was quite an episode. This was actually been a good week for TV because Paradise broke us off with something real nice too. I haven't talked about that show, but I have been watching it. And Paradise episode, I want to say it was episode 7, was also very, very good. Along with this one, it's been a good week for TV shows. Bring back good television shows. Bring back good TV. This was one of them. And we're going to talk about it, y'all. So this will be a spoiler-filled review. If you have not seen it, mark this and come back to it because we're going to talk about it. Now, theories, what we liked, what maybe didn't work for us, what we want to see in the future. We are going to do a deep dive into this episode. So if you are here and you are new, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more content and hit that thumbs up. Get us out there in the algorithm to support the channel. I am not here by myself. So Charles, how did you feel about this episode?
I mean, we got our introspection, I guess. Remember when you say you want to see more of the stuff? It was so much more, but it was so not at the same time. They got a way of teasing the information to you. But yeah, seeing the outside like that and seeing other people made the world feel real though for the first time.
Severance has a way of giving us answers, but giving us more questions. It's like, I ain't gonna hide everything from you, but when I do show you something, you're gonna be even more confused than you were before. They have a good balance of that. Again, good writing and good direction within this series. They do a very good job of storytelling through their cinematography. You can literally had watched this episode with no volume and still felt something. You would have still felt intrigue. You would have still felt emotion. You would have still saw how the use of color scheme and how they changed the characters' look from within the montages and things like that. So again, kudos to Severance and their cinematography team. But y'all, we are going to get into this episode because there is a lot to discuss here. What were your overall thoughts after you watched the episode? What was the thing that came to your mind?
I just kind of got a feeling of the end game, I guess. I don't know. I think they're like trying to utilize Severance as therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's instant therapy. Like, this is a trauma you don't have to have. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like they got Gemma as a guinea pig for like the end game of whatever Severance is supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is that they're trying to use it to mass market the Severance procedure, like how they were doing with those women who had just had babies. I think they want to be able to say you can use the Severance procedure with anything that's uncomfortable for you, whether it's going to the dentist or going to the doctor or going to work. They want to show that it's proof there that you can go through these things and not have to deal with the things that you're trying to avoid, and knowing that whatever your life is outside of the severance won't be interfered.
Yeah.
Which
so
is
like
very
therapy without therapy.
Yes. I also had
therapy.
There was a Black Mirror episode. If y'all can remember, it was like a military episode where the soldiers would go through this procedure to where they would have them go into, do these different battles or tasks or extractions. But the thing is, whatever the procedure they put in them blocked them from experiencing violence to decrease PTSD. So although like they would tell them like, use this particular weapon or machine, like it's not going to hurt them. Or, if you do this or you take them to this place, like bring them over here to us, like they wouldn't see any violence, they wouldn't see any blood, they wouldn't hear any gunfire, anything like that. But they were still complicit in it.
I didn't watch that episode.
And that's what that reminded me of. It's like, I want to block you from the harmful things of life. There was another one in Black Mirror that was something similar like that, parents would do for their children. It was like a parental block that you would put on technology, but you put it on your child.
I
So
saw that.
if
So when parents would
Mhm.
argue and stuff, or when bad things happen around the kid, it would shield them. I saw
Yeah,
that one.
it would like blur it out. I think
Yeah,
like it was one thing like this dog was like hurt on the street, or this dog was like really like bleeding and injured, but the daughter couldn't see it.
yeah,
She couldn't see any form of harm and violence. And I feel like that's what Severance is getting at. Like, we want to mass market the fact that you can avoid harm. And think about the way we saw Mark, and we're going to talk about it. Uh, the Mark that we meet in the beginning is similar to Mark S before any type of trauma or anger or hardship and stuff happened. Like, it's like
yeah.
that. Like, who would you be outside of all of this? And
I
like
said
that,
the
the Mark
Henny
we had.
seemed
Mm-hmm.
the Henny seemed like more personable than the Audis were.
Because they haven't been through nothing
Yeah, that's
to
them
get
without trauma.
exactly. But when they get the trauma, and you get somebody like Irving, Irving B, who when his and he started to experience things and he got a little bit too angry, he started feeling them emotions. They was just like,
Yeah,
like, you're in here so that you don't have to feel the things and go through. So
yeah,
you're not in here for a hard life. You're in here because your Audi is having a hard life and you're supposed to give them a break. And but they're not realizing that they're developing other people. Like, those are other people that they're
yeah,
putting, like, you're putting a whole other person through a torture you don't want to go through.
yeah. Constantly. Every
And
time I
they
go
have
to
no
the
break.
dentist, every time I
Hmm.
go to the dentist, like I'm severed.
And so that person has to go through that.
Go to
Like,
the
that's
dentist
what,
every single day for the rest of their lives.
and that their only life experience is that sort of traumatic experience that you're putting that on somebody else because you don't want to feel it. But
Yeah,
somebody else now has to go through, and that's their whole entire life.
it's freaking
And
terrible,
it is terrible. Um, so they met at a Lumen blood drive.
bruh.
Exactly. They
It was
we
so sus to begin with. I'm like, first I was like, oh, there's a world outside of this. Then I started seeing Lumen emblems. It's like, oh,
mhm,
okay.
a little Lumen drop, and it's like, so they just got their hands on everything at this point. You can't even turn the corner in Lumen and got their hands in something. We find out that we knew Mark was a history teacher, and Gemma is like Russian
Yeah,
history or Russian literature, something
literature.
like that.
So yeah,
And so they
highly
kind of had like
specific.
their little instant connection. I want to say I enjoyed getting to know Gemma throughout this episode. I enjoyed her presence, and she is, now that Irving B is gone, I think Gemma is going to be next in line to be one of my favorites in the
Yeah,
series.
she has a lot more personality. And Mark is weird, man. Joyful Mark is weird. He still moves weird. He does act just like Mark S. Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah,
that's his
see, you
person.
see what I'm saying?
His
Like,
natural personality. No matter.
Right. That's who he is outside of any negative emotions. So yes, so their love story sort of started here at the Lumen blood drive. And that, we're getting flashbacks of their memory. Because before this, I think the episode started with one of the nurses asking Gemma, "Where did you go?" And then at the end of the episode started with Devin asking Mark, "Where did you go?" So that shows us that we're on a journey within their thoughts. So these are our thoughts. Not sure if it's a Mark thought or a Gemma thought.
Yeah, I didn't know about that either. Like, whose consciousness are
Are
we
we
in right now? But the
which?
transitions made you think that they did it on purpose. Just the way
Hmm.
they transition the scenes between. I mean, I know the times in which it's exclusively her, it's just her, but when they're interacting, yeah, is it all a dream? You know what I'm saying? Like,
And that begs me to answer the question about an unreliable narrative, because if this is, say, Mark's um, memory of how he met Gemma, then what is her perception of how they met? You know what I mean? So we don't. There's some little issues with how it's being narrated and whose version of the truth can we trust as we're watching these montages. Whose narrative are we looking at, and are we able to trust it depending on who it is? Because there's still some information about Lumen and Gemma that we do not know. I
bruh,
I feel bad. I feel so bad for Gemma, because they holding her hostage in this place, and she's going through all of these tests and stuff like that in order to get back to Mark, who is literally in the same Lumen is evil. How would they say on Vampire Brooklyn? Evil. That's what Lumen is. We're doing this.
yeah, bro. Like having that like severed floor be the barrier between getting out. So like if you go below the severed floor, you're bruh, that's wild. And it's like, so she's down there, she's just her down there. She's just herself down there. And then she can be whoever. It's like I think she's definitely severed multiple times.
Yes.
But like she can be whoever based on what threshold she crosses. It's
Mm-hmm.
like boom, you're such and such now. Boom, like what the crap? Like, yeah, that's wild, man. That's a weird way of torturing somebody. Like I can see her just
Very much
going
so.
nuts down there and killing everybody. Like, dude, lucky she just didn't keep hitting.
And we're gonna talk about the good doctor later. I call him Doctor Strange. You know, because he's a little off of his rocker.
Yeah,
But
bro, bro got issues.
we gonna definitely get to that part. And here we are. Doc, this hope, because I kept forgetting his name, Dr. Maurer here. I call him Doctor Strange because he is very strange. Okay, because he's been
Yeah,
giving her the strange look for a long time. Because Fran, why you sit here and lie to this woman and say Mark done moved on and got a child, and the whole reason she was doing all of this so that she could be with her husband because they wanted a child, and you taunt her with the very thing that she wants? What kind of diabolical individual does that?
yeah, bro. Like he likes her though in a weird way, and that makes like and other interactions are very uncomfortable. I guess you could say, because I mean, it's like evil boyfriend, like evil ex boyfriend, you can't get away from because you're a different person.
Not only did he be changing who he is, well, sir, why is you in the test rooms? What you doing in there with a Christmas sweater?
Yeah, man,
On the
bro was
plane. Why
wilding.
are you in there?
Bro's wilding, bro. That plane one sucks. Like, bro, are you kidding me? I got to wake up and be in the plane crash every time.
Exactly. And you see the questions that he was asking her, like, do you remember any feelings like about, like asking her, like, do she, do she care, any feelings of like desire or adorate, like feelings of emotion, like she's like what you supposed to say, like, I remember you was there and that makes me want to like you when I turn into regular me, like what you looking for me to say, like, because you keep
I don't
showing up
know.
in different forms, I'm supposed to remember you and actually still like you, like.
I think it's trying. I don't know. I think it's they're trying to test it. Like they're trying to test the like efficacy of it. Like, is there any lingering memory? Is there anything from before? And like, because it's very repetitive with them doing that with her. But
Exactly, but I feel like he wants that to happen, like,
I think
even
he
though
does
even
because
though
he's
against the
something wrong
severance
with him.
procedure, yes, against the severance procedure, I feel like the goal is for that not to happen, but I feel like there's a part of him that wants her
Yeah,
to remember
yeah.
him
Something
in
wrong
her
with him.
different innies. Yes,
Something wrong with him.
and I'm not sure if we gonna get to the, but you know what, I'm we'll sit it here as we talk about the testing rooms. I feel like there's some correlation of the testing rooms and the MDR staff.
Definitely, because it's the names. I noticed the names uh earlier. The one that what you call it did, Dylan. Because
Hmm.
they went right by it and they lingered on it like so you just dead ass lingered on the damn on the wall.
And yes, did you notice? Did you notice that the watchers of MDR? So not only is MDR supposed to be doing their task, there's somebody watching MDR, and the people watching them look like them,
Yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah.
kind of like them doppelganger clone looking things that was on
Yeah,
their
them
little.
things that was out on the retreat with them. But those things were like they're like watching them in everyday life too though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You see, so I'm just like, are those the same people that was in the watch room, or is it like different?
I don't know. I don't know. That gave me the whole simulation vibes.
You go with the simulation, and again with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, like come on, like they watching them. That's what I'm saying. Like, cause like this is before they got connected with Lumen at all. They're trying to have a kid. They have her DNA from the clinic. You know what I'm saying? And now they're watching them going through a trial. Like, how do they know? How do they know she's having trouble having a kid?
You
You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
And like,
exactly.
like
It's
the
like he was looking at her like, about time you came in. Like, but how? What?
yeah, like I don't know, man. The depth of that is just I don't know. Like that was throwing me the whole time. Like, are they really focused on these two from like the day they met to because like a lot of this is dream, memories and whatnot. But was Lumen watching them from because they went to a Lumen place and they got their blood drawn, so they have their DNA, and then Lumen just happens to be involved in the clinic because Lumen just every fucking thing. But Lumen just happens to be involved with the clinic that they go to, and the very doctor who is running her experiment now was at that clinic. Like it's too many coincidences. That's they're tracking them like they're like some kind of chosen one type thing. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it's multiple people they're doing that to, but we only see her, and it only seems like it's just one person that lives down there constantly, and it's her.
I think it's just her because that's the reason why they need Mark to finish that Cold Harbor. I think it's just it's the connection with her and Mark, and so this is where it gets real dark because y'all know they was having issues with pregnancy. What's gonna happen now that Mark is reintegrated, knowing the issues that he had with Gemma and her fertility, and he now knows that he slept with Helly and Helena. So that's 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
The likelihood that Helena or Helly, both of them, is pregnant somehow, there's a high probability of that.
Shoot.
So how is that gonna work if Heliar turned up pregnant when his wife went through all of this foolishness for that?
I don't know, like which would Mark care about the most? He's gonna be both Marks at once.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm
And to,
pretty sure he'd care about Gemma the most because there's more history there. But the other
and
Mark
that he
was
when he
more
realizes that
there.
she was right under his nose the whole time.
That too, though. Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
Like that's pretty messed up. She was like the reason why he was severed in the first place because she was gone.
Yeah,
But she was right under his nose.
I'm thinking her not being fertile is key to something. Like that has something to do with their grand scheme. It's too much of the story. It's too heavily emphasized.
Yeah, I just worry what's going to happen when Helena is pregnant. Heliar, I think, will handle it. But I'm worried about Helena being pregnant and how will she use that against Mark. And now, especially because think about it, Helena actually likes Mark. What kind of person is that going to make her with Mark and then Gemma? Because she knows Gemma's alive. You basically slept with
Yeah.
that lady. You slept with that lady husband, knowing she's struggling with infertility. You slept with that
Oh
lady
my
husband and
God,
gonna
bro.
get
It's
pregnant
too
by her.
much. Too much.
See, here's where it is getting messy. This had to get real messy.
Man, come on, man. Like, but
And
it's the
Lumen,
company's fault, bro. Like,
exactly, Lumen orchestrating the whole thing. Lumen backed
but
that
it's like, yo,
whole.
is Lumen such an overarching evil entity that nobody knows that they're evil? Because it just seems like in the flashbacks, there's no real discussion about Lumen runs everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just accepted. You know what I'm saying? So like, where is the descent from? Or like where it was Mark and Gemma just in the in crowd that was, they accepted the status quo of Lumen being everything and ignored everything else until he got severed, and that was a thing for him.
This is why it's just I need to know where they are when they are in time.
It's a simulation.
You know what? See, I knew that was gonna pop out. I knew it was coming. Yeah. We still got a little bit left in this episode to talk about. So if you are just now joining us, please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't. And I want to send a shout out to all of the channel members and the subscribers and say, thank you. We appreciate the support. And if you are not a channel member, please consider joining the channel, support the channel. And there's content there that's not available for the public. It's only members only content. So we will be right back in just a minute.
Well, imagine as I'm pacing the pews in a church corridor, and I can't help but to hear. No, I can't help but to hear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a beautiful
Thank you.
wedding. What a
Thank you.
beautiful wedding.
Thank you.
Bridesmaid to a waiter. But what a shame. What a shame. The poor groom's bride
Thank
is
you.
a whore.
Thank you.
I chime in with the haven't you people ever heard of
Thank you.
closing a goddamn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison rationality. I chime in. Haven't you people ever heard of
Thank you.
closing a goddamn door? No, much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of.
Justice for Gemma. That's all I gotta say. It's justice for Gemma. Because they had her not only going in all these different rooms, child, they had her with different wigs on, different outfits. Like she got to change
God.
clothes to go into all of these different rooms and stuff. And it's like she don't have just one innie. She has multiple innies that they're observing and experimenting on. They had this lady in here going to the dentist. They had her in there having Christmas every day, writing Christmas cards with her non-dominant hand. I said, look at this terrible writing. And you won't, and she, and the thing is, Audi version of her don't even like writing thank you cards with her regular hand. But y'all want her to use her opposite arm to write these regular cards. And oh boy, I'm talking about, but you heard me tell you I love you. You don't even know this woman like that. Like, no, you don't. And it's mighty funny that even her any was just her any don't even like you.
Yeah, man. She tired like Christmas every day. I mean, tired of Christmas every day too. Yeah, here with him for Christmas every day. What the hell?
He's happy about it though. He's enjoying it. Okay. We got her writing all these Christmas cards. Sir, no, she don't want you. Just because you want to be Christmas every day. Her inside and the outside part. They just not it's just not happening, friend. It's not. And it's like you gotta wonder on some level. And I guess that's what they're trying to see, is there any trickle effect? Because now it's not just Audi Gemma, her innies have been split off. Like, what kind of effect on that is a part of your consciousness?
I mean, I don't know. I think that's the whole point, though, is to have no effect.
Right.
I mean, but it's a maddening experience for each individual consciousness. It's not like you're getting away scot-free.
Exactly. It's like they're suffering though. And if you've suffered in 6 different personalities or more, they're not having a good time with what they're doing, because none of them look like they're enjoying life.
No, nobody's enjoying it. But like, that has to like screw with your brain chemistry.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, what does that mean for your consciousness? Like, even though you're not experiencing it, but on some degree, some part of you is. Okay, like for example, because I'm a counselor, and I worked in mental and behavioral health since like 2010. People who have issues like dissociative disorder and schizophrenia, it's because they had a horrible, terrible trauma at like 2 and 3 years old. Their brain covered it up so that they don't remember it. But it gets manifested in multiple personalities. It gets manifested in hallucinations and delusions. So although they may not remember they had a tragic event happen as a small child, something about their consciousness knows something happened, and it gets manifested in mental health symptoms.
Yeah, it sounds like the Hulk. But it's a long story.
Like, on some level, something in there has to remember something. And
yeah.
And I think even though she's not supposed to, Dr. Maurer be looking like he want her to remember, like, and all these things, I was there. Bye, Dr. Strange.
It's your boy, what's his name from Penguin?
Oh. Yeah, another Dr. Freaky. Dr. Freaky.
Oh man.
Yet another one. Oh my God, what is wrong with these weird
ass doctors, man?
I'm here to do this to help you. I'm only here to help you. So if you ever need anything,
I'm trying to give us white coat syndrome. Scared of doctors.
It's freaking weird. And that one guy, Drummond, Drummond was just like, you need to detach yourself, because after Cold Harbor, like, this is it for us. And I don't think he wants that to happen. Like, he wants to keep Gemma around.
Yeah, but when he said that though, I'm like, is he talking about they're gonna kill her? Is it for her? Or is it for the whole operation? Like,
I feel like they don't want her to exist. Like, I feel like the promises they made to her, they're not gonna keep.
No, they can't. I mean, she's supposed to be dead. You know what I'm saying? She's already expendable. She's supposed to be dead. to the world as far as the real world knows.
So yeah, a bunch of empty promises, and Lumen itself is going to try to deliver on this process. Like, as soon as they finish off, they ain't got but a small percentage left. I think they had like 90% They need Mark to come on back and finish this off. But like, isn't that like how sinister is that? Is they need him to finish off Cold Harbor, which is probably the last room that she'll go into, with the room that'll be the end of the road for her.
Yeah, probably.
And it'll be by his own hand.
Yeah. But like, I mean, how are they doing this? Because the only reason why he signed up to get severed is to forget about her for 8 hours a day. How would they know that he would be like that? They would have to like predict his mental, like his I guess they had algorithms to predict how he would react. It goes back to it being a simulation. It's a simulation.
Drop in the comment section if you think this whole thing is a simulation. Drop down in the comments and let us know what your thoughts on that is. Dr. Freak Nasty.
He did. He told us to say it back. Yo, I was like, what the hell?
She was trying to leave to go back to her own husband, and he lied to her face about it. But I guess, but then again, how much time has passed? How much time has passed? Because, or how
it
much
might
was a
not
lie?
be a lie.
That's what I was about to say. What if it's not a lie? What if it's not? What if it's not a lie?
Oh man!
Even if it wasn't a lie, that's still cruel to say to her.
That is. It's messed up.
That's still some BS to say to this lady, even if it's not.
Yeah, man, you're holding the hostage. I don't understand. I don't know. He's too attached to his job. They don't have nobody that's professional down there.
Exactly. Like, sir, you were supposed to be treating her like a lab rat, and now she done became more than a lab rat. This is not your companion, okay? She don't want to be here. You forcing her. Like, she don't want to. She hit you with a chair.
It said she broke his fingers. She broke his fingers last time.
That lady married, and her husband worked at the job. He is just as bad as Helena is with Mark. Why are y'all in these people bit? Leave these married folk alone and let them be together.
Yeah, man. These unsevered people who know about you being severed, they're the worst.
Exactly.
They can do anything. They can do anything to one side of you, and the other side of you wouldn't know it. Like, oh my God.
Exactly. And then just with his condescending tone, like, well, he's moved on and has a child and everything.
Honestly, like you could push a button and it severs your wife.
Apparently, that's what he's doing.
That's what he's trying to do.
That's exactly what he's trying to do.
Bro, so whack, bro. He can't even pick her up, Severance.
Just look, when I tell you, when she was trying to get out of that damn Christmas room.
Oh man, she was done with that. She was tired. She was tired of Christmas, bro.
And he was dancing.
Did
you hear me? Did you hear me? Did you hear me say it? And I'm sitting here watching TV like, bitch, she heard you. She don't want to say that. That's not your wife. That's not your wife. For real. You made that stimulation up. That's what you got MDR over there doing. That's not your wife, sir. Let me tell you something. And I'm gonna go, and I need to go back to Gemma when I say this. When she tried to run away, and Milchek stopped her, I said, Milchek, you can go to hell.
Bruh, he was out of breath.
You can absolutely go to hell. Because he looked like he was ready to get off work. You know, once he get ready to go home, he put on that little biker jacket.
Yeah.
I said you could have let this lady. You was on your way out of work anyway. You could have let her go. Milchek can go to hell after that.
I mean, she would have just wandered to the severed floor and been like, "What the hell?"
And he was even mean to her because she was just trying to figure out like what's going on. No, turn around. I said go. You don't.
Yeah, he did dismiss her. She was trying to say something. He was like,
Yep. He's a horrible person. He is terrible. And I said, see, you know what? This is why you get no respect out there at the job. Go play with your little paper clips or
That's
something.
Hilarious. It's like I don't get it, man. Like, why is it so important that this thing they do works? Because if it's just a product, they're overreacting, in my opinion. Like,
but see, then when we get to the title of the episode,
oh yeah,
the Chikai Bardo, which is like a level of death. Like they look at, if you look up the term Chikai Bardo, it's like I think it's like something in like Buddhist, I want to say.
I don't know. I know it was what I saw about it said it kind of resembles our belief in the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, it's it's like it's a stage of death, basically. And if we're thinking about stages of death and we're thinking about consciousness, remember, one of the things I do believe Lumon is trying to do is resurrect Kier. And maybe if they can prove that we have all these different consciousness and how we can transfer consciousness, this has to have something to do. Because I think at the end goal is Kier. If I feel like if they can mass market the severance procedure, it'll be easier to integrate the re-existence of Kier, and people will go along with it.
Yeah, but like, oh my god! So like, I don't know, it's like a death cult, like. Because I mean, if everybody gets severed, let's say the world gets severed or gets the severed package or whatever, and Lumon has the switch.
Here wants to rule over the severed.
Yeah, like they're the people, and the people aren't. Then the people will be doing the work, and it's a severed invasion.
No, it's not. The severed are not going to be invaded. They're going to use those severed people as slaves. That's just what I'm thinking.
I don't know, man.
Think about it. If you get a bunch of people who are innocent, they don't know nothing, so they have no choice to believe what you say. And think about it. Everybody at Lumon Building, they're pushing on this whole Kier cult type thing. Praise Kier. Thank Kier. It's just by the grace of Kier. And so you can tell that to people who are severed. But the thing is, when you have Milchek, somebody who's on the outside and not severed, he'd be looking like this some bullshit.
I get it. I'm just saying, like, I mean, that's diabolical. You thinking about like switching, even if you just sever key people around the world. You know what I'm saying? Like you can switch on and switch off the president.
Like they got something more sinister cooking up. Like I said, I think that's just the first step is how do we make it acceptable? And once it's acceptable for people, they'll be more able to accept Kier as their leader.
They haven't really revisited like the outside worlds, like them advertising to the outside world. You know how when Helena went to the little thing, they did the overtime protocols or whatever and whatnot. Like we haven't seen like much like media, you know, aftermath of that, or We don't know like the public perception of what's going on at Lumen.
Well, except for that the severed part, because remember when Dylan didn't get that job for being severed.
I mean, we know
So,
we know how they feel about the severed people, but
mm-hmm.
like, what's the current perception of like the company itself? Because I mean, even if they perfect the technology, how you gonna convince the majority of the population to get severed?
By this, by Gemma,
So
she's their
she
selling
gonna be
point.
she's the you can sever yourself from everything.
Mm-hmm. Are you afraid of planes but need to take a work trip? If you go through our severance part, you will go through the plane. You won't feel a thing. Just walk through here. You can take your plane, and once you get off, sever switched off and go on about your day. Like they get that's a selling point. You hate spending Christmas with your family? Be severed during that time.
I mean, it feels like it would shorten your life. like like your perception of the time of life that you lived, because you're missing gaps of time. That doesn't sound, that's why I feel like it's a simulation. Only in the simulation do you have enough time for that to be relevant. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you take 8 hours a day away, it already feels like the day is too short. If I'm minus 8 hours, what the hell? And then I'm severing other things because I'm scared to fly. So I sever that. So I'm minus 2 hours every couple of weeks. And then I don't like road trips. And so I sever those. So I'm minus 3 or 4 hours every couple of weeks. By the time you die, you haven't lived. You haven't
I guess
lived.
they figure the little bit of life they live is without the trauma of that experience.
Oh
You
my
go through
God.
grief, like with Mark. You go through grief. And see, maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the last experience that Cold Harbor. Maybe she has to experience like the worst thing ever. I think
Yeah,
that room is
like,
not going to be good. Yeah, that
yeah.
room is not going to be good when you go
She
in
got an
there.
experience dying, probably drowning.
Mm. And they say, oh, if you don't want to experience this or go through grief or the pain or the trauma of living through this type of experience, we can sever out this experience.
Yeah.
Because if you're somebody like Mark, it's a good selling point. At least for
Yeah.
8 hours a day, he don't have to cry and think about his wife.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I mean,
I couldn't, and I would see why it's a selling point. Cause see, when I used to work at the hospital, oh, I hated going to work. I hated it, and I just wish that the clock would go fast. But the paranoia that I experience is, how am I supposed to know what's happening to me while I'm there?
that's hilarious.
Unless there's a camera recording in the office so that I see every little thing, I'm not signing up for something that I can't prove. Y'all let us know in the comment section if you had the choice to sever away your bad experiences and things in life that you just don't like to do. You don't like to go to the gym, you want to sever that part. You don't like to fly, you want to sever that part. You don't like your job, you want to sever that part. You don't like celebrating Christmas with your family, but you want to sever that part. Let us know in the comment section. Is this something that you would actually think about
Man,
doing?
the best part of going to the gym is going to the gym.
Well, see, the best for me about going to the gym is not going.
I mean, I feel you, but like, I don't want to be coming home sore for no reason. Just sitting around like, why am I so damn sore?
Well, it's your fault for severing. You better sever until the muscles relax.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I want to know in the comments, what do y'all think about it? Would that be something that's just like, well, it's kind of a selling point, or is it a hell no? But y'all, that was season 2, episode 7 of Severance. Thank you for joining us. We're here on Sundays, Severance Sundays. Be on the lookout for Daredevil. We'll be covering that this week. Born Again drops this Tuesday, I want to say. I actually need to get a refresher of Daredevil, but that was one of my favorite shows when it was on Netflix. So yes, we will be covering it. So be on the lookout for that. It's all Also, Women's History Month, Women in Horror Month. So be looking out for some content surrounding that this month. And we will see you all in the next video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
I need the cash, I need it fast. I treat the stash like it's up for grabs. On the road to the riches, my foot on the gas. I'm chasing success like it's my last. I wake up in the morning, thank the Lord that I made it here. I was so close to the edge like a bad bitch, baby out. I turn a little nothing into something, like I put a bun in the oven. I burst that bread like a newborn. If you want with me going through storms, then you can't make it rain with me. You ain't in the struggle when the struggle tryna hustle. Don't play with me. You sleep for a week, you spend the day with me. Look at my shoes, have problems even lacing it. If I handed you my talent in the cup, you know dry niggas are probably in the waste.